We are finally at the end game here, the final stand in Iceborne. Capcom has announced their upcoming developer's diary this Friday, and I cannot wait to see the contents that's gonna be coming up. Let's quickly discuss my personal thoughts and opinions on what could be coming up for Iceborne. Hey everyone, X here once again, back with another Monster Hunter video. So let's quickly talk about the latest announcement by Capcom, which is the upcoming developer's diary that is simply titled as The Final Stand. Now the reason I want to talk about this very quickly is for two reasons. One, I want to speculate how many monsters we could potentially get, and two, what creature we could be looking into once this particular developer's diary has been released and they announce the returning monster. Now first up, how many monsters could we potentially get with regards to this title DLC update? For those of you that have been paying attention to how Capcom releases their title DLC updates, you probably would have noticed at this point that Capcom has been releasing at least 2 monsters per title DLC update ever since the release of Safi'jiiva. The only time that they never did this was with the release of Rajang, but that was about it. If we take a look at all the title DLC updates that we have so far, we have Stygian Zenogre coming with Safi'jiiva, the 2 variant monsters, Furious Rajang and Raging Brachydios, and of course we have Alatreon coming with the Frostfang Barioth. So you can kind of see how Capcom has been releasing 2 monsters per title DLC update. Now with this coming final stand, I think they may do the exact same thing again in the same pattern that they did both the Safi'jiiva and Stygian Zenogre, as well as the Alatreon and the Frostfang Barioth. We have the returning monster, and we may either get a subspecies or variant of an existing monster in the game. My bet is gonna be on the Nargacuga. Now, this is just a speculation at the end of the day. It might not even happen. We may only get the one monster, or in some rare case scenario, we may even get more monsters along the way. But more than likely, if Capcom's patterns is anything to go by, we could be getting 2 monsters, one that is not in the game as of right now, and the other one is a variation of a monster that's already in the game. Now keep in mind, I am just speculating how many monsters we could be getting into Iceborne. That doesn't necessarily say that we are going to be getting 2 monsters definite. We could just get the one. Now with all of that out of the way, what about the monster that is considered to be returning? Well, there's only one monster at this point that I think has a high chance of returning into Iceborne, and many people speculated as well, which is none other than the OG Black Dragon Fatalis, and I personally have 2 reasons as to why this could be the case. The first one is because we already have a Black Dragon in Iceborne, and you can't really beat the Blazing Black Dragon at this point in terms of power for a monster and how hype it is in comparison to all the other creatures that we have throughout the series. The only way for them to do that is by bringing in another Black Dragon that really originated all of the Black Dragon stuff to begin with, which is none other than Fatalis. So that's one reason why I think Fatalis could be coming back into Iceborne. The other one is in regards to what Capcom has been doing promotion-wise for the Monster Hunter series. During the 15th anniversary event, there was a lot of Fatalis promotion out there coming up for Monster Hunter. They had the Fatalis Eye during their live event in Japan. There was the promotional image of Fatalis for the 15th anniversary event. There was the 15th anniversary poster which had all of the flagship monsters and Fatalis in the background. And of course, the size comparison video, which had a fully animated Fatalis at the very end of the video. There is a lot of Fatalis hinting out there with regards to the 15th anniversary event, and it makes a lot of sense for Capcom to bring in the Fatalis as the final stand monster based on all of the promotion that they've been doing on this monster. So hopefully with all of those hints as being my support for Fatalis being released in Iceborne, Capcom does announce that Fatalis is indeed coming into Iceborne as the final stand monster, and it is gonna be the OG Black Dragon that we are facing for the next title DLC update. Now, if my speculations are anything to go by and Capcom does bring in 2 monsters rather than just one, take it with a huge pile of salt by the way because it might not even be true, then we could be looking into a variation of an already existing monster in Iceborne. And for me, the best candidate for that is none other than the Nargacuga. And the main reason for this is because Nargacuga doesn't have a subspecies or variant existing in the game already. People are saying they should do it for the Glavenus, but we already have acidic Glavenus unfortunately, meaning that I highly doubt they are gonna bring in a Glavenus variant. So what we're gonna be looking into here potentially is a Nargacuga subspecies or variant being brought into the game. For subspecies, we could be looking into the green Nargacuga, but I highly doubt that's the case here because the regular Nargacuga in Iceborne has everything that green Nargacuga has already, and I don't think they are going to be bringing in the rare species of this monster because they didn't do the same with the Tigrex. And finally, I highly doubt that they are going to be bringing in a deviant monster into Iceborne. So the best candidate for them to do is to create a new Nargacuga variant instead, like they did with the Frostfang Barriot. So hopefully this is something that we could see happen for the Nargacuga, not just as a means to refresh the experience on fighting this monster, but also for Capcom to do justice for the weapon on this creature. After all, what they did with Frostfang Barriot was not only bring in the variant into Iceborne, they also brought back the original unique weapon designs for this monster with the color scheme of Frostfang, and I really wish that they do the same for the Nargacuga variant coming into Iceborne if it is something that Capcom is going to be doing for the next title DLC update. And that is pretty much it for this video, going through my speculations on what Capcom could bring us for Monster Hunter World Iceborne when they announce it on the next developer's diary. Again, take this video with a huge pile of salt because we have no confirmation on any information as of yet, other than the fact that we could be looking into the final title DLC update for Monster Hunter World Iceborne that is gonna be major. Hopefully, Capcom will do some bits and pieces along the way at the very end of this title DLC update like the Arch-Tempered monsters, but other than that, what do you think about the content that could be coming up into Iceborne that's gonna be announced this Friday? Let us know in the comments below what you think about the content that's gonna be potentially coming up, and I'll see you all on Friday when Capcom does their next developer's diary for Monster Hunter World Iceborne. Now with all of that being said, if you enjoyed these videos, please consider leaving a like on the video itself and subscribing to the channel as well as hitting that bell icon so you can go ahead and catch up on any future Monster Hunter content that I might be doing or any other games that I might be playing in future. Until then, I hope you enjoyed this video, thanks ever so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Onward and upward.